Okay, guys, today my guest is Oleg Taktarov, the Russian bear. Oleg has won UFC, WBC, he fought on Pride, and went on to build a beautiful career as a actor. Did movies with Robert DeNiro, Will Smith, Nicolas Cage, you name it. Oleg, how are you doing, my man?
Yeah, Rico, obrigado for a great introduction. So we've been together since the fighting days. Then we did a bunch of movies together. You were a producer, I was an actor. So something you can really tell about me because it's all it was in front of you. It was you were watching how my career was developing.
Yes.
So from the day one, basically.
Yeah, it was a very uh, great experience to watch how you built your life because you have always been very focused. And I remember the first time we had a fight against you, and like your blue eyes, how you focused. Nobody could know what nobody knew what was going through your mind, and I think that was incredible. By the way, Oleg, how I have a question for you. How was growing up in Russia as a kid?
At that time was the best experience. I'm sure a lot of places in the world has the same environment. Back then it was much easier.
Hmm.
Also, like for example, one of the favorite Russian Brazilian film, Generals of Saint Dunes, if I say it right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we always we watched it. Some people grew up on this film. It's influenced a lot of people, and I thought, wow, there's a cool life in Brazil, even for poor people. Uh, I'm not saying I grew up like that, but I grew up in a secret small town full of scientists, people with a great education. So um, just maybe my twist on my road was a little bit unique because I did a sport. I did a Russian version of jiu-jitsu, sambo and judo. So it's affected my life after army, then business, and then I kind of got bored with the business. I felt that's not what I want to do in my life, and I just got ticket and I went to United States. There was some difficult period for a few months, and then in 6 months I met you. By the way, yeah, six
Casper,
months.
Casper, Wyoming.
Casper, Wyoming, yes, yeah, and then after that, probably to the year 2004, everything was like just a bright uh, sun lighted road. Everything was great because just everything new for you, new language, new education. You get a new job, not one job, two jobs as an actor, and even just the teaching was great because it's interesting to teach people on a different language with different mentality in the United States.
In martial arts, is that something that you went after, or your parents kind of asked you to do it?
Nobody actually asked me to do this. It just was my choice. It was by accident. I have no idea how it happened.
And the sambo was big like jiu-jitsu in Brazil,
Uh, it was popular in my place. It was popular.
more than
The
wrestling or equivalent.
more, yeah. In some places nearby my town, it was much more popular than jiu-jitsu. It's like a football in Brazil, for some places.
Got it.
Yeah,
And when you came here, how did you get to the UFC?
it was a road around to the success in the films. So I decided that's what I can do. That's what I did for fun. That's what I did professionally. I mean, not professionally, but at least I know all about. And I decided, okay, I will fight. I will get name. I will get paperwork. I'll get the language down and
Green
then
card.
green card and everything else. And then I will just study acting once I'm done with it.
So you came here to be an actor.
Yes, and I figured there was probably another 100,000 people, maybe more, came with the same dream in the same year, but they spoke English fluently. Plus, they had a green card or a passport or working
Visa.
visas. Yeah, so I had nothing. I had zero.
And after you won the UFC, I remember I was there in Casper, Wyoming. Incredible fight. You against that was 1995. I think maybe June, July. I don't remember exactly.
July, yeah, July
July.
15th.
and you had that incredible battle against the Tank Abbott, and after that you became like a gigantic hero here in the U.S. Everybody,
In Brazil too. You,
Brazil
you,
too.
you just almost said it
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I had
Brazil, everywhere around the world, because at that time the people knew that.
Brother Taktarov.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there is jiu-jitsu, wrestling, and you introduced sambo to America, and was this incredible to the world, was this incredible sensation. And once you left the UFC, how easy or difficult was for you to start doing movies?
Well, first I got an offer to do B budget films,
Uh-huh.
B level,
Uh-huh.
uh,
Independent.
independent. Yeah, it's a nice way to say it. At that time, I thought, wow, that's it. I got what I wanted. I didn't know there was such a gradation. There was um, such a in, not just a big, such a difficult road from the B to the A list films. But anyways, I was happy. Two films I've done, and I looked at them like, I think that's not what I want to do. It's great to be with the son of this famous guy, sister of this famous guy, or maybe somebody who did some big movie in 20 years ago. Well, the script was so. So all my acting was based on my fighting knowledge. Well, and then I suddenly got just a week work on a big film called Air Force One with Harrison Ford, and then things
I think
started.
Seagal was in that movie too, right?
No,
No,
Seagal wasn't there.
no.
Yeah, Seagal was in another airplane film,
Yeah, executive decision, I think.
and it was the first film where he got killed.
Yes,
Everybody was clapping. He lives in Russia right now,
I
by the
know,
way.
I know, I know,
He's a Russian citizen.
I know. And by the way, Oleg, what about you? 15 Minutes was your first theatrical release film, was it?
As the biggest, like this was different. I mean, different from anything. There was the film when I got it when I was on the stage, probably in 1 week because I was so suspicious about me. Like I was worried about getting injured, worried about like being kicked out of the film because I'm not good enough or something like that. So I thought if I work for 1 week, they didn't fire me, then I can celebrate. And that was a big step for me. It was, I mean, it was it was day like today. I mean, sunshine, a really nice day, and I got finally words. Oleg, you got the part. You got the part. That's it. It
Did,
was in the
did you celebrate, or you
no,
kept
not
that
yet. Yeah,
Russian
I
face?
kept the Russian face. Yes, it was a expensive hotel, Plaza Atani, where they even like little drink cost $50. Even the little one,
I
the one.
remember about the lamb chops. Yeah, the story.
Yeah, lamb chops was another story. But anyways, uh, I got the part, and Robert De Niro was happy for me. He was actually there at the auditions. He was helping actors, and somehow we got along right away. So, and
he was
he was at my wedding. Yes,
the
yes,
best
yes.
man, right?
Best man. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, it was unbelievable. Everything was like, wow, suddenly. I was
Is that 2001?
it was 1999.
That's when you shot.
Yeah, so it was
Was released 2000, 2001.
one. Yeah,
And
and
that at that point, then your
I
life.
was pretty old at that time. So 32 years old. People usually kind of done with the films.
Yeah.
Like in my case, it was
The
a
beginning.
beginning. Yes, I mean 2.5 years in Playhouse, then bam, I got the part.
Was that the big, like at that point, did your career just blow up?
It didn't. Then it was a long time waiting till next film, till next film. But like now I look back, I understand there was a big films. You know, there was till this day no Russians ever score any films like the same level like I did. I got a bunch of those. Later, there was a first film where a Russian guy was a hero, not just a bad guy. I mean, bad guy or good guy. He was a hero. So first time in any Hollywood blockbusters, it's a movie Predators. Um, at that time, I was kind of cool enough to the films in general, especially American films. I was doing more theater work in Russia and more those sophisticated
Artsy.
art, yeah, arty films, which like small box office, I mean, small budget, small everything, but you have more pride for yourself.
Right.
You have more respect to yourself when you see a good job.
And Oleg, are you more of an actor, fighter, or a businessman? First,
I think I would say probably, but to this day it's
yeah,
equal.
equal.
Maybe 5 years ago I would say more actor than athlete than a businessman. Then I had my festival. You heard about it. It
Yes.
was quite a successful one. Unfortunately, with the situation with Ukraine, I had to stop doing it. But it was 4 years, successful years, and my festival became class B, and we could get even higher. Like we were going there, we could get the best festival in not just Russia. After Cannes Film Festival, could be maybe like in top 5, 10.
Was it in Moscow?
It was not in Moscow. That's the beauty. I was building up a place for a studio. I did few movies in Hungary, Bulgaria, Romania, and in Romania I hated so much. So I said to myself, why we can't do co-production in Russia? It's more places, more choices. It's cheaper. We got the quality workers from anything, wardrobe department, makeup department, stuntman, anything. So less crazy gypsies on the streets at night. So everything was in many beautiful girls, which all American actor who A-lister, even Trump. You know, the Trump, the first thing he does, he did, of course, when he would fly to Russia to meet Putin. He would spend time with, like Putin would say, women with a less social responsibility in terms of like social behavior. It was interesting way of saying it. Yes, so he didn't say that prostitutes. But anyways, I really thought that would be kind of good attraction for people in big actors in America.
Good for you. Congratulations. I saw from the beginning. And who had the biggest influence in your life? The person that, if you had to look back, said, this person really gave a great direction to my life.
Beside my mother and father, who of course I probably got equal from each of them, it's my coach, my first coach, and he didn't teach me much in terms of technique. He did teach me a lot about what I want to do in life, about how to succeed, how to accomplish your dreams. He was a great man about it.
And what was the strategy that he told you to do? What was his technique about how to achieve your dreams in life?
When we were younger, when I was equal to everyone, he actually saw right away that some talent, I guess. And he would say that the best talent you had is hard work. You could work harder than the rest of the guys. And if you didn't accomplish something, you would stay until you get it done.
That's how you were.
Yes. And he would force us to read books, to write the poetry, and just to educate ourselves. We would go to watch films, talk about what we got from watching it, and he always support good education. All my friends at school, they got bachelor, master degrees. They became politicians, businessmen, high level businessmen, doctors, bankers. Everybody succeeded. Everybody. No one went to the crime life. By the way, next to us we had a boxing school, and I think almost everyone went to the
Underworld.
Exactly. Yeah.
And Oleg, you have 73 credits between TV and movie.
Oh, it's great you told me, because I never calculated. It's actually more if you go,
Yeah.
because most of my job, most of my work I've done in Russia, but it's not credited here in IMDb.
Got it. And what is like? How did your love for movies came about?
It's strange path. When I got to the United States, my number one dream cast who I want to meet was Steven Seagal, blah blah blah.
We got to know Steven Seagal.
Yeah, and when I met him in 19 '96.
When we went to his house.
It was a little bit before actually.
Okay.
To the house it was more personal. The first time I just spent 10 minutes with him,
Uh-huh.
and well, it was like, and when I went to the playhouse, I learned that there are some different people in the movies. There are different films you can watch, not just where people punching each other or breaking somebody's arms, necks. Uh, that's how I got in love with people like Alec Guinness, Gregory Peck, Jimmy Stewart, some old-time actors, or a little bit younger. Again, I opened for myself who Robert DeNiro is. I mean, and eventually I met him on the stage. It was amazing. And
You shared this. You shared
I shared. Yeah,
the screen with him.
and then and then I shared a screen with Al Pacino, and then I shared a screen with both of them. In fact, first scene when they were together in the same shot, that was my scene. The
Wow.
first time the camera was on both of them,
What movie was that?
it was Righteous Kill. In the score, mistakenly, people think that this is the first film where they were. They never been on the same shot together. It was
Wow.
always through the ear of stand-in. If you look at the film again, score, you will never find De Niro and Al Pacino facing each other. It's always either kind of ear of Al Pacino or De Niro, either some hiding
Wow.
somewhere. So they've never been on the stage together, never, no single day.
Huge accomplishment.
Yeah, and here we are. Robert De Niro introduced me to Al Pacino. Hey, this is Al, is my friend, nice guy. Yeah. And then it was Bridgeport, Connecticut, worst place on earth, probably, like really dreadful. 2 o'clock in the morning, he comes back in the hoodie to listen story. Those mafia stories in the '90s in Russia, where one of my partner's friend was actually kind of imitating his character.
Scarface?
In the Scarface, yeah, Tony Montana. So he loved that story. So he came back at night. No guards.
Some
Anybody.
vodka?
No vodka. No, just
No?
he listened. Yeah. When I'm on the stage, I'm blossoming. You know, it's a different thing. It's a very strange feelings. It's a more
Yeah, I got
enjoyable.
I got to see because one time I was home and then you called me and said, Frederico, I'm trying to, we were involved in this movie called The Way, and we're trying to do the movie in American.
I was just bragging to one of the producers. I say, hey, come to meet my friend Federico. He's in the United States. He's the first producer ever who set up a shot an American
Air carrier.
air carrier. No one. And after that, it was done. It was no combination Russian Americans. There was a Russian American film. We're landing a Russian helicopter on American air carrier.
It was a great experience, right?
Federico Lapenda. And yeah, people still don't remember. Like,
Yeah.
they still don't know. They were like,
That was a great.
yeah, how Oleg did this? I said, guys, let's keep it quiet for this.
I remember when we went to the opening of the movie. A beautiful. Remember that?
Remember that shot? You, Michael Madsen,
You and I?
myself,
Yeah.
and Tuxedo. You forced me to put this little what is it called, butterfly
Bow tie.
Bow tie. I hate it because it's I got a big neck and I'm in those, and three of us. I mean, you guys look good together, and
That was a good shot.
but it was a great shot.
Yeah.
It was a huge.
What's
square.
the name of that cinema? Do you remember?
Pushkin Cinema. It was a Pushkin Square.
Beautiful.
It's like
right?
it's the number one place in Russia, not in Moscow, in Russia.
Right.
Number one, like most
Beautiful.
important theater where it's only one big screen, maybe a few more, but one big, and that's where the openings usually. Like if you have a big film, that's where the opening should be.
It was a great event, wasn't it?
It was an amazing event. It was a great weather as well too.
Yeah. I remember. It was unforgettable, man. And Oleg, what was the biggest lesson you had in your life? Like if a young kid is watching at home, like if you have to look back, like today as you approach, 50, plus years old, and you lived in different,
I understand the
yeah.
question. Yeah, I would probably say don't rush, don't force things if they don't come by itself. If you don't feel universe kind of pushing you to it, it will come anyways. If it comes unnaturally, it's gonna hurt you. Even if you get $1 billion on your account and if it's unnaturally, you're not ready for, it's gonna hurt you. So everything gotta come in the right time. Like,
And what would you tell the young Oleg if you could talk to that young Oleg Taktarov coming to America? What would you tell? Say, Oleg, by the way,
you know what? Mm, I'll just stay quiet. I gotta, I had some moments when I made I can say wrong steps. I had big meetings. I said not what I should say. But if I look back, then I would stay here making those big films, and I would spend less time with my father before he passed away. I would not I would not meet people where I'm working right now in Russia. I would not have a desire to keep going up. I would not be hungry. Right now, I'm still hungry for life, for just experience, for new experience. For I have 3 projects in my mind, and that's been already pre-financed in Russia, and it's going to be sold all over the world. And some of them is going to be shot in here. In fact, if you're not going to be busy in Brazil, you're welcome to join me
I will.
as a producer. Yes,
I'm in.
thank you. And
Thank you.
uh, I know our friend Christian Gudegas is fighting for the script. Script is getting smaller, but he's in Spain is doing Den of Thieves too. And
Are you gonna go to visit?
I should play in it actually. I don't know what they want to do with it. So if they change script completely, because I was the only like one of the gang, one of the 4 guys who robbed the bank.
I
Yeah.
remember.
So I have no idea how we can be kicked out, honestly.
And would you do anything different, Oleg, in your life if you were starting again? Or is life perfect? Everything that happened was.
I enjoy that I'm still hungry. I'm a little bit afraid of, like, for example, with UFC. Once I got the title, and I was at the age of 27. It's too old. I mean, now of course professional fighters they fight up to 40, but
50.
even 50, yeah. But back then, athletes 48, 49, you're done.
Yeah.
And here you are, 27, and you're not gonna get bigger fight in your life, never.
Yeah.
Because it just happened. You got the best evil looking opponent, Tank Habit, at his prime. You got everything.
Altitude.
You got everything. Yeah, altitude, exactly. Yeah. If it was not altitude, if I would finish him earlier, it would not be a Rocky story. It would be something similar to like typical. I mean, to everything else. So, and I thought, you know what, I'm done with it. I'm not hungry for fighting anymore. But with the films, I'm still hungry, and also, like, your mind is into politics, into helping people in your way. My mind, after finishing, accomplishing my last gestalt in the films, I think I'm more into. I hate word religions because it's not what I want to do, but something bigger. If you combine every religion together and just kick them away, and so that's what I want to do after.
It's so funny, man, because we begun our professional career in opposite sides, but then very soon we start working together. We did movies, fights, and it seems that our life runs parallel. It's almost the same thing.
I was just thinking. I was telling to my friend who couldn't come here. He's a very famous Russian documentary director. He got 2 Cannes prizes.
Wow,
He's going to come here.
great.
And I told him, you know what? Everything I touched because Federico introduced me to or pushed me there or just I was with him or I just asked him to help. everything he touches becomes some, not just success. It becomes a some special life story, because little special life statement.
Thank you, man.
It's very interesting. I was just thinking you got to meet this guy, so he's gonna come here.
Good, good, good. Yeah, we have a good. I mean, there are so many things that you and I kind of started. I'm not gonna talk about them all, but we have a good energy. Two Virgos
Yeah, maybe someday we'll come to Brazil and
again.
build up a relationship. Maybe get some deal with Russia. Maybe get some I don't know what Brazil needs from Russia.
Fertilizer.
I know the man.
Well, then let's talk about it.
I know the man. I know the owner of the company, Fosagra. It's like the biggest company.
Well,
Yeah,
there you go. Let's
that's
do it.
Wow.
And,
See? And Brazil's gonna grow more fruits. People will have more food only because of you.
what do you like about Brazil, Oleg? You've been there a few times, right? What are the things that stand out
I
to
like
you?
energy. I like that people always happy. I have been always happy. I've been always happy no matter what time of the day. I never had a problem. I was in.
Always with a big
I
smile.
always been smiling. Yeah, we had a strange moments in Sao Paulo. People would be like frightened, but I was just smiling. I knew nothing's gonna happen. Everything is great. And of course, Rio, I was king for those days.
Yeah,
I
I
was
remember,
there.
yeah.
So everybody knew me. Everybody was amazing.
Did they give a lot of love? Did you feel?
Yeah, you walk on Copacabana, everybody knows. Hey, Oleg, brado Taktarov, brado Oleg, Oleg. Everybody knows me. It was amazing. You feel like home, because I always say Brazilian mind and Russian mind, they're very close. It's just my country is a little bit colder than yours.
A little bit. Like money, power, or fame?
uh,
Which one do you think is the best?
Honestly, I want just happiness, and I'm not sure if the happiness actually get, like, if you get the circle and you get the segment. Uh, that's if you get those three uh, in this circle, you're probably gonna need some more. I'm not sure. I can't say money, power. Money is definitely not. I had money. I left Russia because, in fact, I had too much money, and money was not making me happy. Power. Well, when you get too powerful, you feel like you don't really have a true friends around you. You don't really have a true love around you. You got some, yeah, power. What else?
Fame.
Fame. I had a fame. It's difficult. It's actually painful. I had a fame. I was.
I know.
I had a.
I walked with you in the Red Square
No,
before. Everybody.
forget about this one. I was here at some big producers event, not just some kind of private
Right.
in a way. I had 40 people around me, 40 men. Samuel Jackson, Vin Diesel, you just name it. Anybody, I mean, like those guys who became famous right now, they all were there in that team. I was a central. They were asking me, they want to be around me. They want to like act like
Tough guy.
tough guys, yeah. And then Michael Jackson came on a huge limo. It was long like this block, It was, and it was maybe 8 girls, kind of model looking, came to take a picture with him. So he was lonely. So he was not famous. You know what I mean. Of course, he would go to some place. I don't know, in Africa.
Yeah.
Maybe it's he attract, of course, more people. But among famous people, I was more famous than Michael Jackson. There was a moment like that.
And that didn't fulfill your heart.
Nothing, no. It was painful. Like when you drive in your car, it's kind of nice. When 7, 8 cars in front of you honking you, just to recognize you through the window shield. But you can just buy bread. You can take a rest and go to the restroom as a normal person. It's not what I want in my life.
Oleg, Which actor was the coolest one to work with? That you had the most fun? That was more.
No, like I said, De Niro, Al Pacino for sure.
And what was the happiest moment in your life?
When I got UFC title, I was not happy for sure because
No, too tired.
I
Yeah.
was too tired, and I was like, okay, maybe now I'm gonna get my green card and I will done with the fighting. And then I meet Bob Marvis, the founder of UFC, and he's saying, Oleg, we are thinking you're gonna fight Ken Shamrock next. I'm like, I just don't want to hear this. It was nice, like I say, when you score the films,
Mm.
happy moments.
But the happiest one, like if you had to look back.
Honestly, I do not know.
No, huh?
It's when you have your kids, but you always worry about kids.
You have four boys, yeah?
I got three, but you get kids delivered, then you start worry about them. The next thing is you just worry about anything, around,
Yeah.
surrounding food, water, mothers. Yeah. So
And what was the saddest moment in your life?
yeah, I had some sad moments when I was young. Now I understand I should not be sad. Like for example, I lost my friend. It was right after army, so I was extremely sad. It was for me. It was like the world is crashing. And my father called me, "Hey, what happened?" And that I can't tell you. So he thought something happened to my mom, I guess. And when he came and he found that it was just my friend, not just I mean, but my friend. He's like, so I see the reaction. So it's not as something that you really like in future. Of course, you look at the things in the perspective of like your general life, how it's going to affect, how the future would help for this guy. I mean, what future would help for this guy. So you change your opinion about a lot of stuff after years. I honestly, I'm trying to stay just in the middle. Probably my number one word, most valuable word for me is a balance. Balance between everything. So I like to keep the balance.
You've been going through a spiritual journey in your life, yes?
Yes. Luckily, I got. Um, I'm not sure what was the first. Somebody told me, or I got a book, but I got into Taoism, Buddhism, Zen Buddhism, uh, Krishnaism. I read all the religious books, anything, Quran, Torah, and it's. I think I already see through the between the lines what's written by men, what really came from
God.
somewhere, yeah, above, and it's. I'm just waiting for the day when I get more knowledge from
the one above.
From the above, yeah. If I don't get knowledge in this life, I'm not gonna be sad. It's okay. Next life,
Come back again.
Come back again. I'll have another take. So it's okay.
Man, we've been in the fight business 3 or 4 shows. Japan, US, Brazil, Moscow.
Yeah,
movies.
You were king of Japan for sure. Everybody
Movies.
were like famous promoter Rico.
Good old days, huh?
Yeah.
I hope we can.
Dozens of thousands people in your shows there.
Oleg, my man, thank you very much, man. I really appreciate.
He's here.
Good having you here. Okay, guys, that was it. Oleg Taktarov, the Russian Bear, 70, 80, 90, 100 movie credits and TV shows, many belts, many victories and lessons. See you next time.